All right, everybody, what's up? Welcome to another episode of Chelas con Chavos. I'm John, once again back at you with another episode with my co-host Miguel. What's up, Miguel?
Hey, what's going on, John? How you doing today?
Good, man. Another week here with Chelas con Chavos. We got a very special episode tonight. It's something that I was been looking forward to for a while now. There's some things that we've discussed when we were talking about the whole idea of Chelas con Chavos is bringing people in the supporters group, soccer culture, on our show, and then talking about that, bringing supporters from different clubs and seeing how they started, seeing how things are going, from supporters groups from the West Coast, from San Diego, from East Coast, everything. So that's something I'm really looking forward to tonight's episode. Do you want to get into a little bit what we're going to get into tonight?
Yeah, definitely. So I guess all loyal fans know that tomorrow we have it's a big game. It's our very first U.S. Cup game, and it's against none other than Albion San Diego. Our neighbors to the north. It's a relatively new team to NISA. Well, we can get into that a little bit later. It's a little bit of a little small history there, but we do have Eric Bailey, who is Bailey, sorry. Who is the president of the Albion1904 supporters group. So yeah, we're going to be talking to him a little bit, kind of like talk about how he got into it, and then talk about a little bit of the game and see how see how he thinks we're going to.
Yeah, let's get straight into it. I'm really excited to talk to him and have a good night tonight. So everybody listening in. We're exactly on a weekly basis doing an episode on Tuesday nights, but we had a very special thing going on tonight, so we wanted to have something going on tonight. So so let's go ahead and introduce him. Let's get this whole thing going.
Hey, Eric, how's it going?
How's it going, Miguel? How's it going, John? Everybody listening, my name's Eric. Pleasure to meet you guys.
Cool. Hey, again, thank you very much for coming on. Look forward to meeting you. Yeah, look forward to meeting you tomorrow at the match, historical match between ST Loyal and Albion SC. Look forward to again meeting you and then potentially having these in the future, because I'm pretty sure ST Loyal and Albion SC is going to be here to stay for the long term. And then this ain't going to be the first time we're going to play each other, I'm sure. So
it shouldn't be the first. Or shouldn't be the last. Should not be the last.
It ain't going to be the first or the last. Hey, so not everyone knows you. Obviously, we barely met each other tonight over pre-talking here before the show. But I want to have you talk a little bit about your upbringing in the soccer world, or soccer in your life. How did you get into soccer and things of that sort? So I wanted to first introduce you, to have you talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so my introduction to soccer, I was actually a little bit of a late bloomer with it. Friends got me in to the sport in the 2010 World Cup. And they got me into the Premier League shortly after that because they were Arsenal and United fans. Flip side to that, though, they were Mexican as well, so they loved Morelia and Pumas. So there was a big soccer culture between my friends, and my mom's side of the family is from Chile. And so as I've grown to love soccer, my uncle shared his love with Colo-Colo with me. So I'm a big Colo-Colo fan, big Chile national team fan, United States national team fan. Yeah, the sport has taken me by storm, man. I'm addicted to it.
Oh, great. Just to comment on there, my family is also from South America. My parents are from Colombia.
Hey.
When I was playing soccer in college, I actually had quite a few Chileno friends, and they're actually Colo-Colo fans as well.
Yeah.
But really good friends of mine from Chile. It was funny because when I was playing soccer in college, the majority of us were South American. There was Chileno. We had 2 Chileno players. We had 2 Colombian. We had 3 Brazilian. Obviously several Mexican, of course, being so close.
Yeah, the whole continent down there.
Yeah, we had one Argentinian guy. Yeah, it was, and that's just the way how you just brought it up. But that's one of the things that I love about soccer is that I've met so many people from so different, so many different places.
Yeah.
And then going to them to their houses, watching the World Cup. Even though they're going for Chile, I'm going for Colombia or USA, or it doesn't matter who, Mexico or whatnot. Everyone's just having a good time together, right? And then just barbecuing, drinking some brewskis or whatnot, and then drinking some chelas, of course, and then just having fun, right?
Yeah.
So
not much better.
Yeah. Yeah. So are you from North County or?
So I'm originally from the Bay Area, but I moved down to San Marcos about 7 years ago. So I've been down here for a little bit, and I love San Diego County, man. It's a lovely area. I like to stay here for a long time. Like to stay here for a while.
Yeah. So what got you?
A lot of us, man.
Yeah. Exactly. Like who wouldn't want to be in San Diego, right? And like California. That's what I always say.
Exactly.
Hey, but I wanted to ask you as well. What got you into Albion SC? The merger or the I guess you want to call it a merger. I don't know if you want to call it that or not. I don't know what you call it, but with 1904 and Albion SC, were you following 1904 as 1904, or were you following Albion? And then so what kind of brought you being a supporter of the club?
So for me, I was there for the beginning of the 1904 days back in Qualcomm. The first games there, and one of the first groups, there was the Outsiders. I was not a founding member of that, but I joined later on and helped them out with different things and everything. So I've been there since the 1904 days. With the merger, it was more of a merger of assets. 1904 had the asset of being in NISA. They were in NISA, they were established in there, and the merger with Albion gave Albion a chance to represent themselves on a professional level. So I don't want to use the word takeover, because they did merge assets and they had the ability to get into NISA, but the Albion name is what was is the transition.
Yeah, for those that are not familiar with Albion, it's been around saying for a long time, and it started off as a youth group. It was a youth club.
Correct.
And they recently just kind of started transitioning to a men's professional team.
Yes,
they did have a professional team before that played, I believe, the National Soccer League, the NPSL or something like that.
Yeah, they were in NPSL, 4th division, but I don't even know if that was semi-pro. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't even know if that was semi-pro. So go on.
Oh no, yeah, no, it was weird. But they were still considered professional. This is actually their second game in Cup.
Okay.
This is their first as Albion, like from NISA. So it's
because the NISA team, they are trying to separate it slightly. It's Albion San Diego for the professional team. They are keeping Albion SC Soccer Club for the youth side. So ASD Albion San Diego is what you will see for the professional side.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah,
they're
awesome.
trying to separate it a little bit.
Yeah. And, I mean, you mentioned before that you're the Outsiders for 1904, and now you're kind of going on this new venture for Albion. But what was your driving force behind being a supporter group? Like what kind of brought you in there? Was it like more family, more of the community you built?
For me personally, to start with that, I really just needed a football club to support. Been in San Diego for a while. I'm not a Padres fan. Again, I told you I'm from the Bay Area. I grew up as Giants, Niners, Warriors.
We forgive you.
That's me. Right. So I'm not, I have no affiliation with that. When 1904 was founded, I did resonate with what they were trying to do. They're trying to bring professional soccer to San Diego. I liked that. I jumped on board with it. And as time went by, I was there for all last season. I was at every home game, banging the drum, trying to go as crazy as I can. With the switch to Albion, I mean, the name change did affect a lot of people. A lot of people were a little torn by it. To them, 1904 meant San Diego, right? They saw the name, the letters, the numbers, and it resonated with San Diego. The change, it's going to take some time, I think, to get people to realize that Albion is rooted in San Diego. They have been here since 1981, so there is that long-standing history. It's just now there's a new venture for the professional side.
Right. Yeah, you know, I'm a chime in here a little bit, just some history with myself, and see what Miguel thinks about this also. But I remember 1904 when it was barely coming out. Like, I'm gonna be really honest with you.
Yeah.
I was planning on leaving San Diego just for several reasons a couple years ago.
Yeah.
And a lot of it was because I was just like, sports has been part of my life since I was a kid, right? I've been playing sports since I was 5.
Yeah.
And then, you know, with the Chargers leaving, you know, originally I'm from LA. You know, I came to San Diego when I was 10
Okay.
years old. You know, I came to San Diego when I was 10. So like having the Chargers leave, you know, and then I'm not necessarily a baseball fan too much. And then I wasn't really engaged in like the city in the sense of like the sports wise. And I was looking for something, you know, to have kids, you know, so I was looking for something that I wanted to, you know, take my kids to, like, you know, go, you know, and obviously soccer, right? You know, we don't have an MLS team, you know, like I don't want to be driving to LA or Carson every weekend and I just can't do that. You know, I can't do that. I'm living in California and what I have to pay to live here and stuff like that. I just can't be doing that. But to be honest here, I was really thinking about moving out of California to a city where, you know, there's a little bit cheaper, stuff like that, just for family wise, and you know, possibly, you know, a place where they have a, you know, a football team, an MLS team or something like that. And then when I saw 1904 coming in, when I started hearing the rumblings about it, I was super excited about it. And then and then, you know, with Demba Ba, you know, with the Eden Hazard being involved with somehow in there, I was like, wow, this could be it, right? And then I forgot what happened, but something happened, like some I don't think it was coronavirus, or something happened where it kind of like, it just kind of just froze for a little bit. I don't remember what it was.
That was a big problem with NASL. The NASL folded. Okay. Yeah, NASL folded, and then all that threw that whole second or third division into chaos. And then that's where I believe USL gained a lot from NASL dying.
Yeah,
and then NISA was able to build themselves up from the ashes, I believe.
Yeah, I think 1904 was actually trying to establish themselves on USL, but I think at that point, San Diego Loyal already had I guess rights to San Diego.
The Loyal, they straight up, you guys have the San Diego rights for USL. I don't think there will ever be 2 USL teams. The jump would be if an MLS team was dropped into San Diego, if the Loyal didn't want to pay the franchise fee, that's the only thing that's going to happen.
Yeah. So again, just finishing off here, I was super excited for 1904. I was digging the name too. I was like, you know what, that's super San Diego right there.
Yeah,
that's like it's from, you know, the streets. You know, it's from, everyone knows what that means. Everyone knows what it is. Super awesome. And then when like the whole like, you know, the breakup or whatever, the league happened, I was like, I was like, man, this is so San Diego. You know what I'm saying? Like it was like my dream just got shattered, right? And I was like, I'm not surprised. And everybody, you know, was watching, you know, reading articles and stuff like that. And I was like, man, I'm not surprised. This is so San Diego. And then obviously, you know, around that time, that's when we started hearing about Soccer City. You know, Landon Donovan came here. About City, and I got involved with that, you know, because I was like, you know, I want something that I can really like grasp onto and give me some motivation to stay here. And because again, how I mentioned before about the friends that I've made in the soccer community, like it was just like family, you know, and that's something that was lacking here, just from not having sports here. I think that it brings, you know, everyone's, you know, working, and, you know, those 9 to 5s and you know, on the weekends or when sports come about, it gives people kind of a you know, an away time, you know, from all that, you know, the hustle and bustle, right? And then we didn't have it, you know. And then so when Loyal came, you know, I got really vested in it, you know. And then but with 1904, you know, I've talked about it on my podcast before, but you know, I haven't followed it too much, but I was following a little bit about what's going on, and I really I was looking forward a lot to 1904 succeeding. And obviously what happened, it was kind of just like what happened here. But again, I'm really looking forward to Albion SC progressing and growing, and it looks like to me it is. I want to see what your opinion is too. Is on the players that Albion has been signing a lot of experienced and talented players.
Yeah, so you can thank the new manager for that. His name's Ziggy. He was brought on to 1904 last season in I don't remember the exact role he had, but he coached teams in Guatemala. He also coached a couple national teams as well. So he has experience. He's been around for a long time. He knows football. He breathes it. He breathes the damn
Yeah.
sport, right? And himself, like nobody else could exist for Albion. If it was just Ziggy, he's the man. He completely won us over. But then you add in Noah, the CEO of Albion, great guy. He treated us with full respect and told us what he wanted to do. There was a recent meeting with the owners and the kit reveal. I don't know if you guys heard about that.
No,
Not really.
No.
Yeah, there was a small meeting. They have another one planned soon, somewhere in the season. I'm not sure, something a little bit bigger. But there was a kit reveal, a little bit of a meet and greet, and Ziggy has brought in a lot of new players and backroom staff to help out, people that he's trusted and worked with over the years. Signed a lot of new players, but also brought some back from the 1904 days and other guys that have experience in the NISA league. So there's a lot of positivity surrounding it. A lot of positivity.
That's actually really interesting. The fact you're talking that he brought in people from that old club, but it kind of transitioned from that. Like how has your SG transitioned from 1904 to Albion? How you guys been holding up?
Mm-hmm. So it was, with last season, it was tough. We lost a lot of the guys. I won't lie. There was a couple games where I was a one-man band. You know, stuff happens, right?
Yeah.
So we've been attempting to rebuild it. I got a couple guys who have joined me. Shout out to Joe. He's been a great dude. He's a friend of mine who joined last season. And he's been really passionate about it. He was won over by Ziggy and Noah as well, because he had his reservations over the name switch. But one conversation with those guys, and they've really showed us what they want to do. There's a lot of positivity, and it's hard for me to find the right words, but I do feel very positive about it because they want to build up these players. There's a lot of young guys, mainly that 21 to 24 group, but they have a couple guys that are 28, 29, 30 with some more experience that they could transfer to the younger guys. I acknowledge right away, it's not going to be about instant success on the pitch. We care about fight, heart, and giving everything for those 90 minutes. And that's what we cared about. And that's what they were doing for 1904. The games that they lost were just, you know, they would actually have a lot of possession, but it would be a stupid error and you give up some goals. And that's all it takes to lose some games, you know?
Yeah.
They had some success in the first couple of seasons. I know, like they placed third place in the first season. And then it just kind of went down a little bit.
Oh, go on.
Oh, no.
Sorry, I cut you off there.
From there it went down just a little bit and everything, but it was I mean, they had a great culture. I thought they had a fantastic culture.
There was the quality. There was the quality on the pitch, and even the games that they lost, there was actually only a handful of blowouts. A lot of the games they fought really hard, or they'd give up a couple early goals, but they would get some back. Like that's what happened with Albion's first game of the season. They gave up 2 goals early. But after that, they controlled the game really well. Unfortunately, they didn't get the goals in time. They got one back at the end. But it's about the fight and the grit. That's the main thing for us.
There you go. Hey, Eric, I got an interesting question for you. So the supporters group for Albion now, it's called Albion 1904, correct?
Yeah, and to be honest with you, that is somewhat of a placeholder name. I want this to be organic. I don't want to just slap a name on our supporters group and that's it. I want to get more people involved, have people join, really talk about it as a group. And if we feel that we want to change the name, it's something that we come up to together. The reason why I kind of made the executive decision to call it Albion 1904, more to honor the roots. You know, we truly believe that 1904 means San Diego. We're down for that, and we love what that means. And so Albion 1904, it's to acknowledge Albion, acknowledge the future, and we're here for the future, but to not forget the past of the club and to celebrate what that means to us.
Yeah, I was just curious to think of if the ownership for Albion was hearing stuff, the rumblings of the supporters, or
Mm-hmm.
whatnot from 1904. It was possible to actually rename Albion SC to Albion 1904 SC. Was there any of that going on?
From what I understand, I believe it was Albion from the get-go.
Yeah.
One positive thing though is they have incorporated the black and white into the logo and to the club's colors,
Oh,
which I
there you
have
go.
really appreciated. I
There
have
you go.
the
Yeah.
little scarf right here. They kept the black, they kept white, but they also added gray and red. So for our supporters group, I mean, there's a couple reasons. One, all my shit is in black and white. all my all
Yeah.
my stuff is in black and white and 1904 branded, man. And I'm a college student, so I don't have a lot to just immediately throw money at it and rebrand it. But that being said, I want to add some red stripes to our flags. I need to get some new stickers and decals for the drums. But I'm keeping the black and white alive. I love the black and white, and that's a little bit of the Colo Colo in me for the black and white. But the red and gray are great additions, because it keeps that little bit of the past that we want to keep with 1904, but moving forward and accepting the future that is Albion.
Yeah, I do that black, gray, and white. That was amazing. And then the scripts, the kind of the fonts that they had. They had that French artist come in and create all these fonts, all these new scripts, and I thought that was amazing right there. They've
done a good job.
Yeah, and I mean, I hate to keep bringing it forward because I'm sure that's probably a pain.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
But, during the process or the whole season when we're kind of like starting to go under, did they talk to the outsiders about what was happening? This could possibly be our last season or anything like that.
To be honest, and that's the thing. I've been blunt with the new owners and everything, and I'll be blunt with you guys. No, we had no idea that it was going to be the last season, and that's why it took a lot of the 1904 fans by surprise. And I think if there was a little bit more upfrontness with, hey, it's looking like the future of 1904 is a little bleak. We're going to be looking at some other options. If they were a little bit more transparent with it, I think 1904 fans who were a little offended, it would have just easily brushed off, right? The fact that there was not much being told about it to people, I think that's what peeved some people. I was briefed that the merger was happening a little bit before the official announcement. So I mean, hey, that counts for something. I knew what was going on, and a couple of the guys had me in mind, so that was good, and that's why we went to the meeting. We were somewhat included. We were somewhat included, and I told them, hey, you guys need to win us over, right? I said that they needed to win us over, but the talks with Noah and the talks with Ziggy, the new manager, they have a vision, they have something in mind, and we do believe in it. I do believe in it, and I'm very positive about it. The main thing for me is being in the stands, banging the drums, making some noise, and losing my voice every week. That's pretty much what it's about for me.
Dude, that's what we love to hear, man. We're all about that too.
Yeah. Hey, Eric, another question for you.
Yeah.
You've been to Canyon Crest Academy, obviously, sure, right?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, how a lot of us haven't been there. I wanted to ask you, what should we expect? What should ST Loyal supporters going out there expect in regards to the either parking or where to go for pre-matching? If not, because the locals, the other supporters group, our brothers in arms here, if you want to call it, really, they're going to be at a different location, or it was a Pacific Social, right?
Pacific Social is a great spot. That's actually that's probably going to be our home bar for the home games. Okay. So whenever we get more people, we kind of want to do some marches from Pacific Social to the stadium.
Yeah.
Pacific Social is a great spot, but yeah, for in general with tailgating, actually a couple people tweeted to the our Twitter page about that. Tailgating's been fine. The thing is, it is a high school stadium.
Yeah.
You know, it's a high school stadium, so I suggested to people probably better to not bring your alcohol on in the stadium grounds. The parking lot is where there's that little bit of a gray area, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
But my main thing is, you know, hey, bring what you want to cook. Bring your grills. You know, bring the carne asada. Bring all that stuff. Bring your beers. Just clean up afterwards. You know, that's the main thing.
Of course.
Be like the Japanese soccer fans. Clean the stadium up after you're done.
Yeah, just to say to that, you know, we're staying in San Diego, you know, San Diego County still, so we want to respect the city or county. But if it was Chandler or LA, I think it'd be a little bit different, right?
That's because nobody cares about LA.
Yeah, it will be you'll be throwing the cans over on the field over there, just like running away, something like that.
The stadium though, I do have to give the school credit. The stadium itself is fairly nice for a high school stadium. Beautiful views. The pitch has views of the hill and the sky in the background. So, you know, that's lovely. You know, it's a big parking lot, so there shouldn't be any problems with people parking, tailgating, trying to hang out. From last year, they always had food trucks available at the stadium. So they've gotten local food trucks and local restaurants that do like catering trucks and everything to come out. So that's been good. There's local food in there, but I don't know if there's any beer for sale in the stadium.
Ooh. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see. So expecting, Estilo showing up, and I wonder if they're gonna surprise everybody with some beer options over there. So that'd be kind of interesting. A few questions.
Yeah, you guys can bring your own Stone Brewing. Yeah. Bring your own beers.
Yeah.
Hey, so I'm gonna diet, dude. So I'm doing the Michelob Ultra over here.
Oh yeah, or Zima. Hey, O'Doul's Zima.
I think
they don't even make Zimas anymore. Hey, so Canyon Crest Academy, is it a grass pitch?
No, it is actually artificial turf. I believe it is artificial turf. Most high schools are like that. It saves them money. Okay. You know how it is.
Oh wow, interesting. Okay, I'm happy I asked that question because
is that going to be a disadvantage for the Loyal?
Well, I know. Well, this is what I got into my podcast the other day on Finest Loyal Podcast. I was talking about how when we end up playing younger sides, younger squads, they're quicker. The ball's quicker. So, and we have a little bit more of a veteran, a little bit more experienced, side. So that might kind of wear and tear on the old legs, that we got, the older legs rather. I'm not sure about
maybe a little bit.
But that could affect that somehow a little bit. The ball's going to be a little quicker on that. I have another interesting question for you. Is that the seating? Is it typical high school, like bleacher bench?
Yeah.
See, no individual seats, right?
Yeah, they're bleacher benches, but I haven't been there since the last game last season. I think the school actually added an extra set of portable seats either behind one of the goals. So there's something there. I think they added some seats because they had some extra loose bleachers by some of the baseball fields that were by the football soccer pitch.
Oh, that's good to know. It's probably going to be for the supporters group area, I'm sure, because they know like a lot of us are going to be going for sure.
They expect that. Off the top of my head, I don't know if there's any plans for fan segregation, but I know you guys are always going to bunch up together. But I don't know. I honestly don't know what the plan is for that. I have a feeling that security might go like, "Hey, if you're loyal, can you please go to the left side of the stadium?" I have a feeling that's probably what's going to happen. But I'm going to admit it. I don't know if I mentioned this already, but it's probably going to be a Loyal home game for you guys. But there's, what am I going to do? Cry about it? No, I have already acknowledged that I'm rebuilding the supporters group. Albion has to reach out and get those fans again. And when I say fans, I don't mean family and friends of the players. I mean true fans that are trying to go every other Saturday.
Yeah. So kind of to follow up on that. So what kind of fan base are you guys kind of seeing out there? Is it more North County fans, more Oceanside?
It's a mix.
Yeah.
It's a mix because they're in Del Mar. It's very centrally located, so anybody from San Diego proper can get up there, and then anybody from North County can get down to the stadium as well. It's a good central location. So for anybody who was interested in 1904 and they're down south, like the Chula Vista area or anything like that, they should be able to reach it. And then folks that are in Oceanside, Vista, Escondido, anything like that, they could reach it as well.
Yeah, well, I mean, it should be a great turnout. I actually used to work over in Del Mar about maybe like 8-10 years ago, and I played. There's some coworkers that I had that were on a soccer team. And I ended up going to play a match with them, I believe once or twice. But I believe it was over like off of like Black Mountain Road, I believe.
Off the top of my head, I don't remember.
Like Rancho Bernardo, like around that area, like it's like
okay.
In between like Del Mar and more east, right? But there is, my point being is that there is a strong soccer community up in North County, and there's
definitely, it definitely exists.
Yeah, Surf Cup, they have it up there, right? And there is a very strong, because when I went up there, I was really surprised on how many people were out there playing, and it was all kinds of people too, they're from different backgrounds. So I know there's a strong base up there, and maybe a lot of those people don't want to drive all the way down, to maybe a lot of them live in Oceanside or
that's definitely part of it.
San Marcos, and maybe a lot of them don't want to drive all the way to Torero Stadium, so maybe now that that there's going to be a big soccer match going on, right over there at Canyon Crest Academy, maybe a lot of them will show up that are probably going to be Albion supporters, but I'm not gonna say secret, but maybe they were just kind of like in the dark. They weren't really popping out. How they're gonna want to pop out because they know that there's gonna be a really big match going on. So that's gonna be really interesting to see.
Yeah, it should be a good match for, if I'm being honest, just San Diego in general. To get the biggest thing is getting soccer on the mainstream for the United States. If I'm being honest, I think it's still a little lower on the totem pole. There's always great turnouts at the U.S. men's national team games, and the women's national team. They have their crazy following as well. So there's Americans that love the sport, but I think a majority of Americans, they still look at soccer and they're like, "What the hell is that?" They know nothing of the sport. So this will be a big opportunity to branch out to other San Diego people. To touch up what you were saying about North County. Yeah, I want to reach out to the North County people, because anybody who felt that to go into Torero is too far, I mean, God, if you can't drive out to Del Mar, then you're not going anywhere.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
I know actually the Sockers are planning to move there, right? Up in to Oceanside.
Oceanside?
Yeah.
Whoa, I had no idea about that. Shouts out to the Sockers. I've been to a couple games, and they are exciting. I got to give them a shout.
Yeah, I think the city of Oceanside actually they actually approved plan to be able to open up, like, I think like a small like 1,000-seat arena or something like that. So yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Wow. A city in San Diego County approved something for a stadium. I'm shocked.
I know, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's actually where when Man and Donovan was coming out and trying to figure out where they're going to build a stadium, I was hearing rumblings about Oceanside, out in Oceanside, Escondido or Oceanside too, so it's interesting. Speaking of that, I had a special guest, Mary Beth. I'm not sure.
Mary Beth is great. If it's the same Mary Beth, she's been doing some of the marketing stuff, I believe. For Albion, she's a great, fantastic person and a damn good sports writer. Sports writer she is. Yeah,
I spoke to her the other day, and I asked her. I'm gonna ask you the same question, but I asked her, and she didn't want to tell me. I hope I'm not throwing her under the bus here. But I asked her,
no worries.
The stadium talk. Any stadium, like what's going to be going on with Albion? Because it looks like, to me, they're really Albion. It looks like, money getting pumped into Albion, or but it looks like to me like Albion's trying to stay, be strong and be here for the long term. And I asked her about the stadium situation, about playing in a high school, about what's the plans on possibly moving to a different location, and then I'm just gonna leave it there. But have you heard anything? Have you heard anything?
So I haven't heard anything myself, right? But I truly believe that they want to be here to stay with Albion, because now that Albion has the asset of a pro team, it gave them the ability to get more sponsors and more money. Money controls everything, unfortunately. So Albion was able to get a lot of new sponsors. They have I think it's Nova Kombucha is the shirt sponsor. Don't quote me on that.
Nova.
I might have butchered. I might have butchered it.
Yeah. So if
I'm correct, if I'm correct, then yay. But they got a lot more sponsors, and those sponsors will help give them some money to help them for the first couple seasons. I believe the idea is still that it's a third division team, right? Yeah. If they can nurture some talent and then hopefully sell that to an MLS team, sell that talent overseas, or maybe if they can get a young player to do a trial run for a team in Europe, they could advertise themselves as, hey, we breed great players. We know how to develop talent, and being able to get money from player transfers will help establish the club further going forward. They might be able to actually sign big names and then truly be able to compete for a NISA title, which would be fantastic in the future.
Yeah, jumping ahead here a couple years, but I'm sure you heard that ST Loyal Landon, San Diego wants an MLS team, and that team can potentially be, the ownership of ST Loyal. Who knows if the name might change or whatnot. Yeah. But we all know that Landon Donovan and people in his group want an MLS club here. So let me put this in your head. So let's just say in 3-4 years, MLS expands more and ST Loyal goes to MLS, right? So now the rights for USL just got pretty much relinquished there. And what do you think about the possibility of maybe Albion SC becoming the USL team? Moves up to Division 2 and then he becomes a USL. It kind of just like what happened with Detroit City, right?
Oh, I'd be all for it. There's a couple teams that have done that. Oakland Roots, I believe, were the first NISA team to move up. And what was surprising about that, Oakland Roots did not have a good season the year before they moved to USL. They didn't. But I have a lot of friends back home from the Bay Area that have gone to Oakland Roots games. I gotta all praise to Oakland. They have done a fantastic job with the Roots. They've done a great job with Laney College, and they're rocking the house every night, right? So if Albion was able to move up to USL, I'm all for it. That just it does increase the level of quality. I don't believe that the difference in quality is that great from USL to NISA. I think it's more in terms of physical stature, like strength, size, and speed. I think that's what USL truly has over some of the NISA clubs. But yeah, I'd be all for it if they move up, because then that's more opportunities for the club. It would be more opportunities for TV rights, and then hopefully they'd be able to truly get that money to then do the big name signings, like I mentioned, and keep money within the club, so they don't have to. You never want your football club to be paycheck to paycheck. You never want that to happen. So if they could truly establish themselves, be financially secure, and be able to move up the ladder, I'm all for it, man. That would be great.
Yeah, because what could potentially happen is, let's just say MLS does grant San Diego and MLS team the rights, the USL rights, I guess you want to call it, could be sold to Albion, and then Albion can have the USL rights in this territory. So that means they'll be the next USL club, and they could,
that's probably the ideal situation. If I'm being honest with you, I don't know if the Loyal will have the money to pay the MLS franchise fee.
Probably not.
I think we're going to see a team. We're going to see a team drop shipped into San Diego. I believed that for a while, because I thought San Diego should have got a team before LA got two. The fact that LA has two MLS teams, I mean, I know plenty of big cities can have two teams. There's nothing wrong with that. but MLS was a prime market. They lost the Chargers. There was a intensity for sport in the city, and they go give another team to LA. It made no sense. I think we're probably going to see. You know what? My bet is within 5 years. I'm thinking 2026. We'd probably see an MLS team get dropped into San Diego.
I mean, cool.
We'll
That'd
see.
be really cool.
Now, being honest with you, though, if an MLS team was dropped into San Diego, I might go to some games as a neutral, but it'd be hard for me to say I'm a supporter for them. That's my team. I mean, I'd called myself diehard for 1904, and while the name change and all that was, it rubbed some of us the wrong way. The guys at Albion have been super transparent with us, and the atmosphere is nothing but positive. I couldn't see myself jumping ship unless Albion Professional completely folded, if you get my drift.
Right. Yeah, I mean, Albion SC has been around since 1981. They're still around, and again, from what you're saying, that they had the meet and greet, or with the supporters or whatnot, a couple weeks ago, right, or a week ago or so.
Like two weeks ago, give or take the date there, but yeah, it was a positive meeting there. It was really good,
and that's something new because I never heard of 1904 doing that necessarily. So, the point being is, it feels like to me that Albion SC is really trying to engage in the community, and then and
they
really
are
grasp. So, and that's something very good. We have some. Let's just say. There's some things going on in MLS where, because a lot of people call it a pyramid scheme, right? It could be where, the team, the Columbus Crew again. It's always Columbus Crew coming up, right?
Oh yeah, it's always their name coming up. Their fans are too dedicated, though. I don't think they'll ever leave.
Yeah, but let's just say I'm just gonna pick on them for a couple minutes here, but but let's just say they're not showing up. 1 year it's too cold and no one's showing up to the stadium and no one wants to be there, or whatever. And then now MLS goes, oh, look at this. There's only 3,000 people in this 20,000, capacity stadium, or whatever it is. And now they're talking about, the owners talking about, all right, well, we're going to freaking move and we're going to move to San Diego. Right. And then the ownership moves here. That's how you just mentioned. I think it feels weird for me to support the club, knowing that they're just corporate and that they just moved from X city to come here just because they were getting drops in or fans going to the matches, and they came here just because they know they're going to be able to make money. I don't think I'll be able to support something like that.
How you mentioned the what word did you just say? Corporate.
Yeah,
that was a big concern for old 1904 fans, and I got some messages on that from the social medias. A lot of people felt that Albion was trying to be too corporate and that it didn't feel organic, or that they didn't have like a community aspect. I do have to say that talk needs to be quieted down, because they have truly reached out to us, and they've really been transparent with what they want to do. Right now,
Albion's been always like,
go on.
It's been always like, they've just been a staple in the community, and I don't really see how that argument, would make sense to anybody that they're corporate.
Yeah, the arguments surrounding it, and that's the thing. I'll be frank here and be blunt. I've had some messages, and I brought that up to some of the owners, and I was like, hey, a lot of people are like, how are you going to charge for a VIP or a season ticket when we haven't even had our first game yet? Right. And I can completely agree with that sentiment. Right. I completely agree with that sentiment. I think that, Albion needs to be a little hat in hand and go, can you please support us? Like, here's a shirt, here's a scarf, here's the tickets.
Right.
but at the same time, they really are building something good there. I mean, I wouldn't have shown up to that meeting if I didn't feel any ounce of positivity in me, right? I wouldn't have gone. I went. They treated us with full-blown respect, and they gave us the insights of what they want to do. And it's not going to be instantaneous, right? They're going to lose games. They got to develop the talent, and they have to find their identity on the pitch. That was a problem 1904 had last season. I mean, it felt like every damn game the starting 11 was different, right?
Yeah.
with Ziggy, I know that he's big on having an identity for his team. Their formations are sound. He wants to have strong defense and be able to play the ball, right? So I believe in Ziggy. I'm behind him for that. I'm behind the players. They're nothing but a humble group of guys. I only met them briefly at the event. All very humble, all very good guys, and it's one hell of a diverse group. I mean, they got guys from Cuba, they got guys from Senegal, and there's a couple. I believe there's a couple San Diego locals down there on the team as well. So it's a big mix of guys, and I think they can create a solid unit out of it with Ziggy at the helm, and I'm positive about that.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, so keeping it real, there's a lot of people complaining. A lot of people complaining on social media about the ticket prices, for this match. Loyal prices are a little bit cheaper. So a lot of people complaining about that. So do you feel I'm not sure if that's how the price is for normal, or that's how it's going to be for a normal Albion ST game. But what do you think about the price for this? Like, they're making it seem like almost like they're making it seem, but it's pretty high. Maybe because of Open Cup. What do you think about the price? Is it gonna attract people that those ticket prices?
My personal opinion, this is just me as a fan, me as a guy. I truly think that the reason the price is a little bit higher for this Open Cup game, it's on ESPN Plus and it's against the Loyal.
Yep, there you go.
I mean, exactly. if half of your supporters group shows up, I mean, at $35 a pop, that gives the club a little bit of money, and for Albion home games, they the ticket prices are similar to what they were last season. $12 for an adult, $8 for a child. So if you're trying to bring your kid, $20, that's not bad, right? Yeah. I have no problem paying my $12 entry fee and supporting the club, right? When I was talking to the guys, I wasn't putting my foot down. Like, I don't want to be a paid supporter. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I want this to be organic. I want to pay my entry fee and support the team like everyone else, right?
Yeah.
If I could have input on the team, if I can have input on some fan interactions and fan events, hell yeah. But the main thing is, I'll pay my entry fee like everyone else, because you introduced me as the president of a supporter group, and I don't even view myself that way. I just view myself as a guy who loves soccer, and I'm trying to attract other people to join and support the team I support.
So with that, the follow-up question, Albion recognized the official supporter group.
Yeah, they have recognized us as like we are the supporters, we're the group for that. Which is great. Like I said, they've given us nothing but respect and transparency. That's been fantastic. The onus is on me and the other guys in the group to reach out to people, make noise at games, and just have a welcome environment so people can cheer with us. That's really what we got to do.
Have you been to any San Diego Loyal games?
I've been to a handful. Yeah, I've been to a handful. Shout out to the Rainbow Loyals. Espin invited me to a couple games. Great guy. So
Espin.
Shout out.
Props, Espin.
Shout. Got to give him a shout out there. I've gone to a couple games as a neutral. I've gone to a couple games as a neutral, and it's been great fun and all that. The reason why I'm not a loyal fan is because I was attracted to 1904 when they first came out. And for me, it's I guess it's just my own personal morals. 1904 was my team. I can't jump ship and say that I'm a fan of the Loyal. And that's not even a knock on you guys or a knock on the team. That's just how it is.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, we had talks within the Chavos when when everything kind of happened with 1904. We wanted to extend that invitation out, and join our group. We just didn't know how you guys would feel about it, but then this new club came around and everything. It's just like, it feels like you're doing the right thing. You're something again from the ground up for the second time, and you're
essentially yes, from the ground up, because with the 1904 transition and then the COVID season, the COVID season was what really killed that core group we had, right?
Yeah,
people's schedules got messed up, and once once something isn't a daily routine or a weekly routine, bi-weekly, whatever, it fades away, and stuff happens. I don't hold any grudges against anybody, you know. But with the rebrand, that was a second obstacle. It was a second obstacle to then be like, okay, guys, we're no longer 1904. We're gonna go forward with the future of Albion. You know, join us. So with the Twitter and the Instagram, I've been trying to reach out to people who were old 1904 fans and just be like, hey, you don't have to be right next to me cheering and singing every game. But if you're down for what Albion is, just come out to the game, support the club. You know, if that means you join us in the future, great. If you don't, I'm not offended. My whole thing is just supporting a team and being able to make some noise and building something organic.
Oh, there we go.
And kind of so we're gonna. I mean, you kind of spoken a little bit, but what are you looking forward to for the future of your support group and your club? What's the one thing you kind of want to see in the future?
Yeah, if I'm being honest, I mean, if I could just have 10 guys that know some songs, 10 dudes in that high school stadium can make some noise, man. Because to give you an example, there was an Irvine away game we had last year. We were able to bring about eight people, give or take. We made more noise than that entire Cal United Strikers fan base, right? And we were eight people, right? So if I could get a couple guys that are down with the cause, they want a team that they could support and to sing some songs, you know, just make some noise, just have that soccer camaraderie, that football camaraderie, you know, that's really what I'm looking for. And when I say build something organic, like I'm a big fan of Colo Colo, right? I'm a big fan of South American soccer, and I have some love for the Premier League too. I know soccer culture. I know what barras are like and all that stuff. I have ideas for songs, but I'm not gonna write out a lyric sheet and tell people, hey, sing this. I want to discuss it with guys that are down for it and make something unique. Because I have a lot of ideas. Oh my God, I have a million ideas in my head. But I want it to be accepted by other people. I don't want it to be forced on them or anything like that.
Yeah. Do you play drums on yourself? You play drums by yourself as a passion?
Yeah, so not as a passion, no, not at all. Being honest with you, my dad is a drum guy. He's big with the conga drums. He's one hell of a conga drum player. So maybe there's a little bit of some of the genes in there.
Right.
But I have one of the big bass drums with the cymbals on top. So that's my main thing right now, and I'm trying to source out. We had a couple old drums that I think some old members picked up here and there, so nobody really knows who has what. I'm trying to source a snare drum at the moment because my buddy Joe, that's part of the supporters group, he's an actual drum player. So if he could give me a beat on the snare, I can do the bass and the cymbal. You know, we got a little something going there. Then we add some lyrics and some songs to it. You know, and then it just goes on from there.
Sweet. Hey Miguel, so you have any other questions for Albion? I wanted to see if we want to move on to questions about that with Eric with like World Cup or just like you know, he knows about Barra, you know, South America. Have you ever been to a South American match, Eric?
Unfortunately, no. I believe next year I'll be going to Chile. Not for happy reasons. I'll be honest with you. I got to bury my grandma. Shouts out to my abuelita. You know, but I haven't been to Chile yet with my family. But it's something that's on the bucket list, and I really want to. In general, I'd love to travel the world and see a game at every famous stadium. You know, I'm a big fan of it. But to go back to the South America stuff, like my uncle gave me the passion for Colo Colo because when I was younger, I was like 14 or something. He showed me an old Colo Colo shirt he had. That got me to search that side up and to understand everything it was about. I mean, I stream the Chilean league whenever I can. I'll get a cracked stream and watch Copa Libertadores all the time. So I'm a big fan of South American soccer and a big fan of the Premier League as well.
Yeah.
So I'm well versed in all those things. I want to try to translate that to the supporters group if I can.
Yeah. Hey Miguel, I'm not sure if you had any more Albion questions, but you wanna move on, and I'm kind of curious, to talk a little bit more about Miguel, your background too in the Barra or the team you follow in other leagues, and myself, and then Eric too.
Definitely.
Yeah, no, I just have one more question about the Albion.
Yes.
So I got a couple.
Okay.
If it's a loss, if it's a blowout loss, if they can keep it to 3-0, no goleada, that's fine. That's fine. 4-0 and up, I'm leaving that stadium going, ugh. What in reality, in reality, I feel like the advantage is the Loyal, but if Albion can come out all cylinders firing, if they could get an early goal, you never know what can happen. I mean, geez, a 2-1,
drop back.
a 2-1 or a 1-1, and we go to penalties. I'm not sure what the penalties and extra time rules are for the Open Cup, but I'd love it if the guys can defend well, stop the Loyal attack, and if they can counterattack properly, that'd be great. I have a feeling the Loyal is going to control possession and have that more physical aspect to the game, like I mentioned with the USL players. Excuse me. But if Albion can counterattack well, and if they have a solid defensive unit, I think it'll be good. Our goalkeeper made 2 fantastic saves back to back in the last game. If he can bring that to the Open Cup game, I think we have a fair chance as the underdogs, if I'm being honest with you. What do you guys think?
Scoreline. What's the scoreline again?
Answer, man.
Scoreline, Eric.
You know what? I'm gonna go. If I'm being absolutely realistic, I think it's gonna be a 2-1 win for the Loyal. If I'm being absolutely realistic.
Good, Miguel.
I'm 2-0. 2-0. I mean, nothing against
No.
But I think it's really gonna be it's gonna be our first Open Cup game, and I think Donovan's gonna come out, all cylinders firing, try to get that early goal, early second goal, and then just get more subs in.
Yeah. A full starting 11, full team to start.
Correct. Yeah, and
yeah,
I think Albion will put up a good fight. I mean, the underdog, it's a national, like you said, it's a swing game on ESPN, and they're gonna be looking to make some noise. I mean, I don't think any team in the U.S. is ever out of it. That's the beautiful thing about this tournament, right? It's a single game.
No, never.
That's it. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, it's not as prestigious as the FA Cup in England, but any team can win on any given day. There's 11 individuals out there. Something can happen. You never know. Maybe, hopefully the refs are on our side and they give you guys an early red card. I don't know. But hopefully a little bit of luck is on our side and we can do something, because from the Albion side and as a fan, it would be great if Albion could get another national game and to present themselves on a national scale. That would just only benefit the club.
Yeah. Well, if SC Loyal has Grant the Pitbull Stolman playing, there might be a yellow, not a red card, right, Miguel? Because Grant Stolman, he's known for getting yellow cards everywhere.
Anyone with the nickname El Pitbull, I mean, I know about that. Gary Medel for Chile is El Pitbull, man. So I know all about anybody with that name.
I ended up calling him that just because he's always getting yellow cards. But you know what? On my opinion, right now, Miguel, ST Lowe's having a quick turnaround of matches. If these 2 weeks are over right now, they'd be playing every 3 days. They're playing Saturday, Wednesday, playing Saturday.
That's a lot for you guys. That's a lot of soccer on the legs.
Yes, they're playing Wednesday tomorrow. They're playing Saturday again, and then I believe Wednesday again. Well, no, I'm sorry. Yeah, is Wednesday again after? I'm not sure, but there's 2 weeks of
Saturday, Wednesday.
Yeah. And that's what I think that Landon Donovan's gonna have to manage that. And right now we had Jack Metcalf, one of our top, players. He was injured, the previous match, not the one that just passed, but actually, yeah, he got injured previous match. Thomas Amang, our main man right now, he got subbed off because he had a little bit of I don't know if he was cramped up or not. He was in a training session I saw, that ST Low had on social media. But the point what I'm trying to say is that it ain't going to be easy. How I just mentioned to you, turf, ST Low is going to be playing on turf. They're not used to playing on turf. They're used to playing on grass, which is completely different than playing.
Yeah, it's a different game. Yeah, yep, I agree with you.
And we have Albion SC, comfortable playing on that pitch. They're going to be at their home pitch, trying to really bring a name to themselves. And ST Low is going to show up, and it's not going to be easy. My point is, it's not going to be easy. But I'm calling. It's going to be a tough game. I do see ST Loyal winning, but I want to say like a 2-1. How you said? I don't think it's going to be easy. It's not going to be easy for sure. I don't think.
I don't think there's going to be a lot of goals. I think both teams are going to be not timid, but I think both teams are going to have a little bit of wariness. I feel like Albion is going to be a little bit more gung ho. I mean, what do they have to lose? They're the underdog. If they lose, it's slightly expected, right? Yeah. So if they come out firing and they get an early goal on you guys, and that forces the Loyal to then open up, anything can happen from that. Anything can.
Yeah, exactly. So, all right, those are our predictions. Miguel, you have a little bit more time, Eric? Maybe like another 15, 20 minutes?
Oh, I'm all good. Yeah, no, this has been fantastic. So I'm down to anything Albion related or football in general, man. I'm all good for it.
Miguel, you wanna talk about a little bit some like the World Cup or like some barra culture and Latin America?
Yeah, definitely. So I'm actually a big supporter of the Mexico national team. I guess speaking of blowouts, I kind of recall you guys blew us out like a little bit, like I think it was like 7-0, I don't know, something like that. Chile against Mexico. I remember that game in the Centenario. Speaking of that, I grew up just watching Mexican soccer. I grew up, I'm a Chivas fan.
Chivas, there you go.
Yeah, Chivas, been to a few games. And my dad used to take me to a lot of a little small club called Inter de Tijuana. It was like way back in the day. It used to be like a little small like minor league team, maybe second, third division in the Mexican soccer. Funny story about them. One time, Bayern was doing a U.S. tour, and there was a game I think that got canceled. So they needed a game, and they played against Inter de Tijuana, TJ, a small baseball stadium. We went to that game.
That's fantastic. Yeah. That's one. That's one hell of a story.
I'll send you guys the article. Actually, I'll post it on here. For the the Chelas podcast. I was actually at that game with my father, and it was just dumb luck that got the tickets because it was such a last minute game, and then when they were advertising, nobody believed it. Everybody's like, whatever. It's probably just some Bayern Munich team, from the Albion right next door or something like that. No, it was the actual real Bayern Munich team playing against the second division TJ team.
Wow,
that's so cool, man. What are the odds of that? What are the odds that a second division team from Tijuana gets a top division German team? It never happens.
Yeah. In a baseball stadium, so nonetheless.
In a baseball stadium.
That's one of my fondest memories. I do support the U.S. national team. I am a fan of them. I'm a fan of what they built, and I think they're going to do great in the future. But when it comes down to it, like I said last week, I'm a Mexico fan, through and through.
Yeah.
The Chivas right now, we're kind of going through a little tough spell. We haven't really done anything in the past few years. And it's just one of those things where, when you're a team that fields only Mexicans, when you want to buy another player, they're gonna upcharge those players.
Yeah, especially if they're a top tier Mexican player in Liga MX, of course. Yeah.
And and this is actually the Chavos de Loyal is my first supporters group that I've ever been a part of.
Cool.
kind of came in. I saw the logo on Instagram, reached out to Kev, and I was like, hey, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what this is, but I'm part of it. I just like, I don't care what I have to do. And then slowly but surely, I started going in. I started singing a little bit. I was a little shy, and then I think after the second game, it just, like I mean, man, I could not stop singing.
Yeah, you became immersed in all of it.
Yeah, and I mean, I give you mad props for getting it out there sometimes by yourself drum, dude. I mean, because if you're singing a song, I mean, it doesn't sound like it makes a difference, but the players feel like, it's like, and that's actually my first that's kind of my first experience with the Barra, besides the TJ Cholos games and stuff like that. But as far as World Cup go, how do you are you a U.S. supporter for this World Cup?
Yeah, so I mean, I'm American. I was born here and everything. So I have, I grew up very American. So I'm here for the U.S. men. I'm here for the U.S. men's national team. Unfortunately, Chile didn't qualify this year, so the golden generation is officially put. They're done. I was happy I was able to see 2 Copa Americas. But for the World Cup, yeah, I'm here for the U.S. men's national team for sure. I think the group could definitely do something. I'd love to see Pulisic get a hat trick against England. That would just be like cherry on top of everything. Oh yeah, that would just be great. The World Cup is definitely going to be interesting though, because it's a winter World Cup, but since it's in Qatar, the weather is still going to be in general pleasant, right? So it's a different type of World Cup. It's a different type of atmosphere with everything going on. I don't know. I think the United States are going to get out of the group. If they don't get out of the group, then something is wrong with U.S. soccer. If they don't get out of the group, I think Mexico will be fine. You guys got a flashback to 2010 with Argentina, but no Tevez this year. So
yeah, man, it's gonna be. I mean, I kind of hope that Argentina is still not at their prime, and that Poland just have that one striker. That I kind of hope
Poland's
that's
just Lewandowski, man. They're just Lewandowski.
That's kind of what I'm hoping for. Myself, I really do think the U.S. has a chance to come out of that group. Depending on who that third slot is. I mean, Wales has been doing pretty all right. Ukraine is definitely playing for something now. They're playing for pride. So
Ukrainians have always been prideful. So just Ukraine in general, they're prideful people.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So
you translate that to soccer, they're gonna give their all. I feel like Wales might be the team, but Wales themselves aren't that strong either. I mean, God, what, Aaron Ramsey and Bale? That's not everyone else is a bunch of who? I don't know who
Bale's not
that
playing
is.
too well.
Yeah, and he's at the tail end of his career too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he's still amazing. He's still amazing, but it's when you're one man and everyone around, if everyone else around you isn't up to your standard, he can make the best run in the world, but if the midfielder doesn't see him and doesn't pass it, it doesn't mean anything. So
exactly. Yeah, but there's a lot of this is gonna be the last last hurrah, I guess you can say, for a lot of top players in the world. Ronaldo, Messi,
many players.
35. Messi's going to be 35. Ronaldo's already 36, going to be 37 or something like that. Again, how you brought up Chile, with Vidal and Sanchez and players like that. And Colombia didn't make it either. So we have the likes of
you guys still have a chance, I think, right? Or did Colombia get eliminated?
We got eliminated. We're only 1 point off.
Peru got 5th place, right?
But you know what? They're gonna play. Who they playing? They're gonna play Australia.
So, hopefully Australia beats them.
Yeah, I don't want Peru to win. So funny. I don't want to. Well, I want to get to that just about the politics, Miguel. How we were talking about the politics of World Cup. But I wanted to say about the Bada culture that I want to chime in here a little bit with that. Is that I went to a match in South America. I'm not sure if you remember this, Eric, that Once Caldas is from Colombia, from the city of Manizales. They were the Libertadores champion back in like 2012. No, I'm sorry, 2002.
Okay. Yeah,
2002 or three.
I will admit that that's a little bit before my time and a little bit
Yeah,
before my knowledge. So yeah, okay.
They beat, I believe it was Sao Paulo in the final.
Okay.
So they're the Libertadores champions. So my family's from a city that's kind of close by there, and ended up going over there quite a few years ago. I ended up visiting my brother, and where we're from, where our family's from, rather. They're they have a soccer team too, but they've been in the B League, Colombia B.
Okay.
For the past like 10 years. They have history too, but they haven't really been going through a good run in the past decade. So, but I wanted to see a Colombia Primera A, Primera A, team and game. So I ended up going to Manizales. So my brother, we took a bus from the city, where my brother lives. It was about a 2.5 hour bus route all the way up the mountainside, the Cordillera Central, going all the way to Manizales. And Manizales is like on top of like really high altitude, Cordillera, or like a mountain ridgeline.
Yeah,
so
really
you go
big.
up there, it's really amazing because it's really high altitude. All you see is like the plush green, like selva, the green, the forest, and the jungle, right? And then you see all the mist, all the the mist going over the mountaintops, and then there's a stadium, there's like a stadium like right there. So we ended up going to the stadium there in Manizales, and then we're walking there, and then we're trying to find, mind you, we're not from there, but I'm at an odd team. So it's me and my brother, we're going, and then we ended up like going on this side street, and then there's a bunch of people there. There's a bunch of people we didn't know who they were, but we're asking. I'm not, I'm totally Americanized, right? So I'm not gonna be going around asking like, hey, bro, where's hey, bro, how do I get the tickets? Where do I get the tickets? So like my brother was like, speaking Spanish, to a bunch of people on the side. I don't know what they were doing. But hey, we're trying to get in. It's just the entrance, and the one guy steps out. He's like, "No, esto de la barra. You guys can't come in here." So like the barra right there that were hanging out before, they're doing their thing before the stadium, before the match started. I was like, okay, cool. So we just like, we just walked off to the main entrance. So we ended up going to the main entrance. Go in. Once was playing Junior de Barranquilla, which both those clubs are pretty historic in Colombia. So I ended up we had some pretty good seats. It was pretty cheap.
Yeah, I've heard of juniors. Yeah,
Junior de Barranquilla. They're in the Libertadores a lot. But what I wanted to say was that when I was in there, we're not obviously in Navarra, and we're like in a general admission seating,
like the family sections.
Yeah, like the family section, right? But looking at the barra, and every single person was jumping up and down and singing. There was probably like maybe like of the actual barra, and then there's like the other general seating areas.
It's crazy.
But every single person was singing. Every single person was jumping up and down. And that was my first experience, seeing something like that. And I was just like the whole stadium was like shaking like that. And I was just like, wow, like that's the reason why I wanted to go. That's what I wanted to see.
It's beautiful.
It's like amazing to me, right? And it was my taste of actually being in a, like a historic stadium. Because I saw on TV when Once Caldas won the Libertadores, and I was jumping up. Yeah, I'm not from there, but having another Colombian team,
it's the pride.
Yeah, it's the pride, like having another Colombian, especially beating a Brazilian team, which is like really amazing, right? At that time, the club had really a lot of top-notch players. But going back to the whole Chile and Peru, like how you just mentioned, like Peru, you don't want them to go, but I was talking about the politics, a while ago, and about how we don't want politics involved in soccer, right? But right now, if you've seen the World Cup draw, right now obviously USA is matched up with England, Iran, and possibly either Wales, Ukraine, or Scotland. But the other group, another group, you'll see. What was the other thing that I saw? Oh, Mexico and Argentina, right? You can't help but see on Twitter or on social media how politics always comes into play, right?
Yeah.
If you look up Twitter, look up USA versus England, and you see all the stuff that is being talked about. To see what you thought about, because in South America, I mean, yeah, everyone's keeping the peace and everything for the most part. Politically, there's some bad things going on politically every now and then, but politics kind of fall into it in a lot of ways, don't you think?
It's one of those things that's a really fine line, because especially in South America, I mean, in general, a lot of Chileans don't like Peruvians or Bolivians, right?
Yes.
So when they're playing,
there's a lot of history there,
right? There's wars and a bunch of stuff. So when they play Peru, when they play Bolivia, it's there's the banter against the team, but it's also like, nope, we're against you. They're totally, any songs or chants or anything like that, like they're chanting against not just the national team. They're saying, hey, they're making fun of you because of where you're from and stuff like that.
Exactly.
Also about your mom, and in South America and Spanish, everything's about your mama. So,
oh man.
Yeah, and then Miguel, I want you to chime into this, but the Mexico Argentina game, like, what do you think about that?
That's gonna, that's revenge, man. I want revenge because I got lucky. That was a goal, but I really do feel like Mexico should have won that game a couple World Cups back. Maxi Rodriguez, it was a fantastic goal, but I felt bad because you couldn't do anything. It was Waldo Sanchez. He reached out. I mean, that guy flew in the air, and he missed it by he just barely missed that ball, and it was just heartbreaking the way we got eliminated from that World Cup. And we have to get to that. We have to get to that fifth game. It's becoming so frustrating to always get there. And I think probably the most frustrating one, it was that Argentina game, and then at the same time we got eliminated by the youth team in Korea, in the Korea-Japan World Cup, and that was frustrating itself too, because man, that was just to lose another game four, but against your bitter rival, that was heartbreaking. I'm just trying to. This time around. I'm telling you, I just want. We don't have a great record against Poland. We actually have like 4 losses with them. But Argentina, I feel that's those rivalries. That's that's always going to be there. And even though continental rivals, we're intervals for sure, because we always seem to have big games against them, and we always seem to be very close, but just never close enough. And I just want revenge. I want to just take that group. I want to go number 1, and I want France next after that too. If we can get France after that too, I want everybody.
Oh, you're bold. You're bold going after France, man. France is the team I wouldn't. If I was any team, I would not want to play them yet. They're just there's something about France.
Imaginemos cosas chingones.
Oh my God! Yeah, you know
something
what?
about France, man.
Yeah, but man, like Mexico versus Argentina is gonna be like California. So the Southwest is gonna be going like the fire. It's gonna be going to hell. Although
it's gonna be crazy.
Bars, also also England, USA. It's gonna be insane in America, across the nation. Like every soccer lover is gonna be out, I'm sure, somewhere watching that match.
That one's going to be absolutely massive, because that is the true chance for the U.S. men's national team to kind of, what's the word I want to use? Take that weight off their shoulders, maybe, or leave something behind them. If they can beat England, there's so many ramifications behind that, just being the United States and in relation to England. But if they can beat England, that means that their soccer is on the map. They're doing something correctly, because everybody always elevates England up here when they need to be down a couple notches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Being honest, I think the United States has a good chance against England because while they have great individuals, they just cannot perform as a team, and we've seen that for the past 2-3 World Cups. England is just not a team. They're individuals. They're not a team.
Yeah, exactly.
And I mean, I've never been a big fan of taking the easy path to the championship. I really do want to see obviously the luck of the draw is there. I mean, you can't really fight it. If you take it right. I mean, Netherlands has a pretty easy path. But I'm a very strong believer that if you could beat all the best teams in that tournament, you deserve a champion. And that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I don't want to have an easy path. I want to beat all the teams that we're not supposed to beat.
Yeah.
Hey, well, that's the thing. If you defeat those big teams early, you don't have to play them in the quarters. You don't have to play them in semis or anything like that. So it's going to be a crazy World Cup. Do you guys know how the brackets are structured? I haven't looked into what team goes where for the round of 16 brackets.
I haven't got there yet.
Yeah,
you know, it's always
checked
something
either.
fishy. You know, there's always something fishy going on.
Yeah, if it's anything like previous World Cups, I think it's generally like 1A plays E and then 1B plays
Yeah,
2A.
I think you're right. Yeah.
So there's a collision course there again for the United States and Mexico in the semis. Who knows?
Oh,
I don't want.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want that actually.
Oh man, USA, Mexico, and any stage, because I believe Mexico and the US need to get past the round of 16. That's been their Achilles heel, right? They can't get past the round of 16. They need to move forward.
Yeah.
If the US and Mexico met in a quarterfinal or a semifinal, it would probably be the biggest game for both of those nations. I can't think of anything bigger than that. The Gold Cups don't matter. Gold Cup finals do not matter. A quarter or a semi in the World Cup between those two nations, I mean, my head explodes just thinking about that, man. I have no idea what would happen.
I hope they don't.
Underdog.
I don't know who would be the underdog in terms of that. I mean, both teams are pretty fair. Both teams.
I mean, just in general,
pretty equal.
Like in the World Cup.
Oh, underdogs in the World Cup in general
is a big underdog. I'm thinking Canada is a big underdog. They do some damage. They're a good team.
Yeah, they're great.
I think.
Hey, Eric, are you going for any stuff?
No, I can't. I mean, Chile is my team, man. I mean, my mom is from Chile, and I wear that on my sleeve. So with Chile not being there, I can't root for anyone else. I will say though that I think Uruguay has a big chance of being maybe a sleeper because Uruguay was very quiet during the CONMEBOL qualifiers. They kind of got through by the skin of their teeth.
Yeah.
Right. So, but think about it. You got Suarez and Cavani up front. What's better than that? Diego Godin, while he's older, he's one hell of a defender. Right. Yeah. And it's Muslera in goal. I mean, it's pretty solid. I think Uruguay are probably going to be a somewhat of a sleeper team. Outside of that, I mean, if you look at 2014, Costa Rica topped their group in 2014. Mm-hmm. So if Costa Rica can keep the momentum that they had, they could definitely be an underdog that might be able to do something. It's just always hard to predict anything against the European teams because they're viewed as the powerhouses. They're viewed as the be-all, end-all. But I think I don't know. Do you guys have any feelings for any of the African teams that are going through? Because correct me if I'm wrong. Was it Cameroon went through?
I don't think so. I think it was Ghana.
Was it Senegal?
Senegal.
Yeah, Senegal beat Egypt to go to World Cup. So I think Ghana, Senegal, and I believe one other country.
Morocco.
Morocco, is it?
Yeah, Morocco. They're I believe with it.
Okay, so I think it's Ghana, Morocco, and Senegal. Those are three African nations. Nigeria is out.
Egypt's Nigeria out. Losing was a big one. Egypt was a big one.
South
Ghana
Africa
is still in, but they're Ghana. That's to jump to that. I think the group of deaths are Germany's group, and Uruguay, Ghana, and then there's two groups of death. I mean, you got Spain, Germany, Japan, and then there's someone else that can qualify for their group. Mm-hmm. And then you have South Korea, which they're not pushovers.
No.
South Korea are not pushovers.
Yeah.
Ghana are going to have fight in them. Portugal are going to have fight because this is going to be Ronaldo's last hurrah.
Yeah.
So it's probably going to be one hell of a World Cup. I just I hope everything we're seeing on paper translates on the pitch.
Yeah. And on Thanksgiving week. USA be playing on Thanksgiving week.
Yeah, and actually, no,
really? I didn't look into the dates of when they're playing.
Yeah, the things I'm looking forward to the World Cup is the fact it's gonna be in Thanksgiving. It's gonna be during Christmas, so I'm already not gonna be doing anything at work anyway because that month is usually slow. So hey, might as well watch soccer, right? So it's gonna be interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, it should be good. I mean, it's funny. I mean, us over here in the States, we're used to waking up anywhere between 4 and 10 a.m. to watching a game, right? There's a lot of Europeans that have complaining that they got to watch games at 10 in the morning, and I find it hilarious.
Yeah.
If you only knew.
Yeah.
Yeah, if only they knew. I mean, think of the American and Asian fans. They wake up super early to watch Premier League if anyone's interested in it, you know.
Yeah. Exactly. Hey, well, Eric,
cool.
we want to appreciate you for coming out, man. We wish nothing but the best for you and your support group in the future.
Thank you, guys.
I'm not gonna be able to make the game on tomorrow. I know John, you'll be there too. But if you want him out, I know a lot of guys love to have you out there. You know, with some kind of salad. You know, come chill out to us.
Oh, definitely.
Like I told you before, man, we're 100% supporters. Like we want to succeed because you guys are San Diego as well. So, and you know.
Yeah, and I've been down for that too. So thank you guys for inviting me out. I'm totally excited to meet you guys there. Like I said though, for when the second that whistle rings, we're gonna be enemies for 90 minutes. I'm gonna jeer, I'm gonna whistle, but you know once the game's over, once the game's over, we're all San Diego, and that's the thing. While I'm not San Diego native, you know I was born in the Bay. I lived there for 20 plus years. Been down here for about 7. I do have some pride for San Diego, though. It's a great area to live, and being a part of this sports culture has meant a lot to me. I've been able to find communities that I can be involved in, and that's great.
Awesome. Yeah, Eric.
Definitely want to.
Sorry, Miguel.
Oh yeah, I'd definitely be excited. I mean, I'd be interested in doing a little Open Cup recap, no matter which direction the results go, and then for the future of the Loyal and Albion. I mean, yeah, I'm always be down to talk to you guys. This was a really great experience, and thank you for having me.
Yeah, Eric. Just look for the Chavos scarves tomorrow, or Chavos gear, and I'll be in the mix. But I'll look out for you and invite you over so you can.
Yeah. You see one dude walking around with a drum on him. It's gonna be me. So.
Yeah. All right. If I see you, I'll go say what's up.
Yeah, it was a pleasure talking to you guys, man. Thank you again for having me, and I hope we have a great game tomorrow. So it should be a lot of fun for all of us.
I'm looking forward to it. Yep. All right, thanks, guys. Thanks, Miguel. Thanks, Sarah.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you, guys, and everyone watching. Have a good night.
All right, see you. Have a good night, everybody.
Thank you.